the time.
Yeah. Call the meeting to order, we'll have the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. I have a couple things that aren't on the agenda, but I'm putting them on anyway. The first one is, you said free speech last time, Laura. That don't mean that you can talk all meeting, you and Pat. Savor all up to the public opinion in the end, and then take a deep breath and speak up then.
That goes for everybody. 'Cause
Everybody's
everybody was
talking.
talking out of turn.
What do you mean? Everybody talks periodically throughout the meeting, so. The way
And
you're
secondly,
running.
if you want anything that, brought up to the amendments on the minutes, 10 days before the meeting.
Bullshit.
You
Got
have
24
24 hours.
10 days, I'm sorry.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
24
Oh, no.
hours.
No, it ain't gonna be that way, Dennis. If
Why
I
not?
have that thing and I can if I got 24 hours to put stuff there, I will bring something. Cause if I don't have the information that I'm looking for and I don't get it the 24 hours before, hey, it takes sometimes that long.
Oh, then put it on the following meeting.
No, I
Yeah.
have, as long as it's 24 hours, that's the law.
10 days, I haven't
That's
seen
the
that
law.
in the law.
You can't change the law. You're not God. Remember I told you that?
Yeah.
I was waking up.
Well, this is starting off fun.
All right, now we'll move on.
Goodness.
We're gonna approve the December 17th meeting after all the corrections.
Do you wanna take roll call?
Yes.
Make sure we're all here.
Are you here?
I'm here.
Amanda?
I'm here.
Do
Jeff,
you
you
think he's
here?
their father?
Terry? Dennis, I'm here. Now we'll do, have you read the minutes, you two guys?
Yes.
You approve them as they are?
Yes.
So,
Do we have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second?
no, sorry. Treasurer's report?
So we had a previous balance of $151,331.72. We received $546,429.36. We paid out $292,451.03, which gives us a balance of $405,310.05.
I made a motion to accept.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Building report permit.
We're gonna do my report first.
Okay.
2026 elections, we will not have a February election.
Yay!
Yay! So our first election will be in April. Along with the election comes this, that we talked about the new election tabulation equipment and updated provider agreement. I shared this with the board. The, cost is $7,000 per unit. The county is covering 6,000 of that. The municipality has to cover 1,000 of it. So that will have to go into our 2027 budget. Delivery and the payment would occur after the April 2027 election. So we have some time to plan for this, which is good. There is also included in this updated agreement, if anybody wants to read this agreement from the county, it does state that the cost of them having to fill in for election services if no clerk is in place is $2,500 per election plus postage now too. So if anybody wants to see what the responsibilities of us versus the county are, that's available on this form, and I'll leave it up here if anybody's interested. Stimulating. WTA districts meeting is January 31st at the Eagles Club in Marshfield. and February 27th at the Holiday Inn in Stevens Point. We do need somebody to be trained for the Board of Review this year. And as far as I know, no one has signed up for that yet. And we do need somebody to sign up for that, whether you go to that meeting or you wanna take it online, however you wanna do it, it's just nice when it's there, cause then it's already, you're with everybody else and it's just easy. I don't know if we have anyone out here who would be willing to volunteer to be on the Board of Review, or would want to go to that meeting. Anybody interested? Raise your hand.
Who's on your note, Diane?
I don't know, the board, whoever.
Well, it was
It
Carrie
can't
and
be-
myself
it can't be
and
me.
Laura
I know
last
it
year.
can't be me, cause
Is that what you did last time, Laura?
Mm-hmm.
I think it has to be somebody in the town. It cannot be us.
I am not gonna do it with you because you are,
Pardon?
Marv, how would you like to do Board of Review training, no?
Why don't you do it,
Why
Denny?
don't
You're our
you?
chairman.
why don't you go to some meetings once in a while? It's not that hard to do.
Let the younger generation take over. I ain't gonna last forever.
Well, you took the job.
It's not a hard thing to do.
No, it's not.
It's very easy,
They-
and you get paid for it.
It's
So,
very
I mean,
self-explanatory.
it is, it's really not that hard, it's just that we are required to have someone trained, and it can't be us, cause we don't live in the town. So, otherwise I'd do it in a heartbeat, cause it's easier than stinking pie, and if nobody signs up to come to the Board of Review, bring a deck of cards and play a game, I don't care what you do, but, anybody willing to do that?
What,
It's not that hard.
what does it do? Like, what's it for?
It's for the Board of Review.
He's
so-
gonna make his daughter
You
do it.
sit there 2 hours with the assessor in case somebody, doesn't agree with the assessment.
Well, and if they don't fill out the paperwork, they have no reason to go to Board of
But they
Review.
But they have to do this prior to the meeting.
So you'll know if somebody's coming, and the assessor does everything.
Yeah.
But
Pretty
we
much.
still have to have somebody trained. So,
So your time in it would be the meeting and then to
The
go for the
training.
training, and then you would sit here during the meeting when you, or.
And you could do it online too, Randy.
it's a Board of Review, like.
For the Board of Review, you'd.
But
sit here
again,
for a
you
couple
know
hours.
if somebody's coming, and the assessor would know, and they have to be the ones that are prepared. You're just kinda making sure that,
The law is followed.
yeah, protocol's followed in the meeting,
And how often are those meetings?
once a year,
It's just one piece.
just one time. You could do it.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, thanks. I'll get you all the information. Thank you very much. That is it for my reports. Permits, licenses, the only one we have this month, I think I mentioned last month, maybe, I don't know. The Central Wisconsin Ice Racing Association on Lake Dexter is going to be held February 14th and 15th. So they did mail in the fees for that, and they have an operator's license, and the temporary Class B retailer's license. I just need someone to approve that.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Do we have to act on this tonight, right here?
Yes, we need to approve the provider agreement, because I have to have that mailed in by January 31st. So do you all
I
have?
make a motion the town accepts their deal.
Okay, second?
Second.
All in favor? We did 4 and 5 already then, huh?
Yep, we're on number 6 already. Who said
Okay,
30 minutes or less?
Discussion and approval of additional town web pricing.
Okay, so the town web got back to me after we mailed them our payment last month, for the new hosting website and all of the upgrades. they indicated that we did not pay 2025 last year for the branded email domain, so we owe them for last year and this year for the .gov email that's required. So that's $432, it's $216 a year. So I'm just, you'll see that bill come across, but I just wanna make sure that, you all are okay with that, because that's another bill that they threw in there on us. I have been looking for other website options, because this is very costly. And I'm not finding anything that is better. I've sent them emails stating that we literally use this for our meeting minutes and to post a few things. We're a very small population, and we're getting charged the same as Marshfield or Wisconsin Rapids or Milwaukee. I mean, we all pay the same fee, which is just ridiculous. They don't care, so it is what it is. But if anybody ever comes up with another idea where you think we could get a better website that provides us with a .gov email along with the archiving of all of the minutes and agendas and everything.
But you don't have to have a .gov email.
Not
You
yet,
can
but
just
it's
use
coming.
regular emails.
It's coming. It's going to be required. According to Trent Meyer.
Well, until they do, we save $200 a year.
Just make a
Moving on,
motion.
planning and zoning commission member review and.
Did you guys approve that? Sorry, did somebody make a motion to approve that town web thing?
No.
Is somebody going to?
I'll make a motion, we do. We don't have another choice, do we?
No, not right now. Thank you.
Okay, planning and zoning commission member review and salary discussion and approval.
Does anybody have any information on this? I can't find anything in writing where it states what salaries were approved. I don't know where it's at.
It was on one of our meetings from last year. It was approved for
You know which one?
25 per meeting, per person.
Do you know which one?
It would have been in 24.
It had to have been in 24, because there
Okay.
were no
'Cause there was
planning and
no
zoning
meeting.
meetings last
Right.
year at all.
Oh, that's what I meant,
Right.
24, when I was there, yeah.
I looked-
Probably, their first meeting was in April or something? I would look in January or February, March.
I looked, but I didn't see, but I remember I was at the meeting, and I remember Pat saying $25, so. And I looked through all the minutes, I looked at my planner, but I didn't see anything.
And I based the $25 on what they got initially when like Marv was on the planning commission. That's what they got, was $25, and then they decided to give it back to the town. I forget, Marv, what did you guys do with it when you gave it back to the town?
All these tables, the chairs, that's supposedly where
Yeah.
the money went.
So that's what they did too, so it's been 25 since 2009.
So the question is, should that be updated, or should it stay as that?
Well, after looking at our budget last month, I would say it should at least stay there. Unless you wanna up the fee for variance requests and conditional use
What's
requests.
everybody's feeling on it?
I don't care whether I get paid or not.
Make it 0.
I mean, again, you could do
No,
the 25
you
and
can't do
donate
that,
it.
you have to pay it, because we went through that one, Marvin and them guys all did that and stuff, none of them wanted any paid, and they said, no, you have to pay them.
But I don't know how they finagled it around that, we never seen anything.
You donated it back or whatever. to the
Whatever.
You
town.
did, we never got paid that time, and
We
they
got no bill.
donated it all back towards the chairs and tables.
Okay. So we'll just,
Shelves, stuff, whatever.
so everybody is in agreement then that I can document this in the meeting minutes, that the pay will be $25 per meeting for the planning and zoning commission? And then we have it in writing, and and whether someone decides to take it or donate it back or whatever, they can do that later, but just so I have it documented somewhere. Good, okay, thank you. Do I have a motion on that? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
The next is roads. The first thing I'd like to bring up on that is in Island Drive, what was it, a few months ago when that lady come in, that property out there? Anyway, she said that, you know, the water wasn't circulating through the ditch there, you know. So I called up Roland, and Roland said, he'd go out and look, so they went out and looked. And Randy said, what did he say? Anyway, that it was, culvert was shot. So, that there is expensive out there, the cheapest bid is like 26,000. But you got a lot of signing and, you know, you gotta make arrangements with the fire department and the ambulance. And, you know, all kinds of stuff like that, cause you can't isolate those people on the island. So then I looked into lining it, and the guy gave me a price, he said roughly $5,000 to $6,000. They would put a liner in it, and it would be good, you know. So then I got Tom Nelson, who was out there, you know, when we said that maybe we'd have to replace it, you know, years ago, they wanted to put a bigger one in. So, that really gets expensive then, so he couldn't muster enough support on that. So, the guy in the lining thing says, well, it can't be deteriorated from the top and rough, cause then you can't shove nothing through. So I went down and looked, you know, and I thought, so then I had Tom come down and look, and we took a picture of it, and here's
I
what
got
it
it
looks.
right here. Pictures.
Yeah. So, I don't know,
It's 70% good,
at least,
at least
Yeah.
70%. There's no separation in it.
no,
They said it's really, I talked to Roland on it and Randy on it. They said it could go for 5 years yet. They said it could, we can't predict it because it's over 70% of good. And I do have a camera behind me here. And I laid on the ice, I went down there, I ran my camera down it, and I asked Wood County if they ran a camera down it. They didn't. And I can't see, the bottom may be rusting, I couldn't get down to the bottom, but that ice was melted away from the edge enough that I could check on the rust line. And,
I took ice chisel and I couldn't go through the bottom or nothing, Jeff, and you couldn't see anything.
I couldn't.
This
either.
is all I could see was right
Yeah.
there.
And,
And it looks like brand new
they're
on
complaining,
the side.
yes. They're complaining about, you know, stagnant water. They gotta first start by cutting their brush back. Everybody that has a pond or has a reservoir, we have to maintain our own properties. And if they're not getting it's all canopied over with no sunlight coming in. And you can look at these pictures, and this is the end where, here's a bigger one of it, how canopied over it is. You're not gonna the water will be stagnant in there. And on the end where they wanted to possibly go out, they said with a canoe or a kayak, he said it's pretty much impossible because it's growing in and the channel is so narrow. And he says they'll never get a permit from the DNR to cut wetland brush away. That's all natural. They said they're gonna have one hell of a time. So to put a bigger culvert in, we're looking at way more money. And the next thing is there's gonna be a lot more issues with frost heaving over top of the culvert if you go bigger. So it's really not a feasible thing. What I do have on this is Dexter Wood Road on the culvert that is bad, wrote up by the state that we need to replace within 1 year and inspect every 6 months by a culvert inspector. And they said, Wood County, that this mainline road culvert would take priority over any one of these, you know, little subline ones, cause he said, there, so we should put money into this, and I did get estimates, we did, sent to Dennis and me for that culvert there. New twin pipes put in, 72 inch, looking at 49,000. Got paperwork for culvert funding from the Wood County for the culvert plan. We would have to pay the initial price of it this year, but if we put this in, get it in this year, we could, collect half of that money back on that 49 for the next following year. We could get a reimbursement check. So I lean towards, we're gonna probably have to do a new culvert on Dexter. Cause I had just lately, I've seen, we probably had 300 loads of sand go down that road for Sean, to Pete. And I got Mr. Canoyer that hauls fuel every day, and he's got a bigger fuel truck now. So that culvert would be more appropriate one that would need to be fixed.
Did you look at it personally?
Hmm?
Did you look at it in personally or not?
Which one?
The one out on Dexter Wood Road?
Yep.
Huh?
Yes. And I've been looking at it all along because I knew it was bad. So, I got pictures of that one too.
You want these from this one? It's on that report.
The one where the county had it, this one had to go ahead. Let me do that one. Right here. Right here. This is it, right here. Where they ate out on the sides and where the caved in. And he said they are starting to see some dip in the top of it.
Very, very few.
Yeah,
I looked at it, and I mean, I don't think it's, I don't know.
Didn't he give you till May to fix that, Jeff?
Hmm?
Didn't he give you till
He
the
gave us
state?
up to, they gave us up to 1 year, the state did.
And when did he send that to you?
Hmm?
When did he send that to you?
About a month ago.
About a month ago, yeah. And we have to have it inspected every 6 months. And we do have a large bulge starting in the top of it, like they said. So,
If that culvert,
It's one that we know was bad. That's why I've been looking at it, because the school buses know the traffic over that one. So, that's the one they recommended that we should fix within a year.
if that culvert is so bad, why is Dupuy running on there with all that sand?
Well,
Does he have a permit for that?
Roads are
Frozen road permit, we didn't have full road.
You still need a permit to hold, so he doesn't hold the town liable in case something happens when he's on it. That's what the permit is for,
the
Dennis.
permit is for, yes. And there
It's to
is-
keep people from suing the town, because we know
Was at
that
the
culvert is
town
bad.
meeting, or the association meeting the other night, they talked about all that again, and what our rules are for that.
What did they say?
They're supposed to have a permit. Because it keeps, holds the town non-liable, then you let them know that there is an issue with the culvert, and if they decide to run their 80,000 pound or bigger loads over it, then they, you know, if somebody would, a school bus or something would fall through it, or if they did structural damage, it would be onto the guy that did it, instead of the town. Town should really have a paper permit.
And we do have a policy for that. Why isn't it being used?
And it was brought up at the town association meeting, they have a website with that permit on. So,
We have a copy of that permit in our
Would you read that
records.
top paragraph right there?
There's no reason he should be on that
Read
road.
it out loud.
But he can be.
I mean, read loud.
This is,
This is for Island Drive, that there's where
Oh, we're back to Island
County
right
nerd.
now.
they don't have, this culvert's not failed.
What?
This culvert, it didn't fail.
What does it say there? Read it, what he wrote.
I did.
Or read it out loud.
You read it out loud.
I'll read it out loud.
But I talked to them over this, And,
I
I don't know,
talked to
I
him
don't
a
know,
lot.
I don't know what you were trying to do here, but you see it's 70% good. We are not gonna replace a culvert that is 70% good.
That's my thought. I was gonna get a price on it lined, and I never went down and looked at it. I went on what this gentleman wrote right here. I have
And I
inspected
questioned
culverts
him
on
on it.
Island Drive and found it has failed due to loss of pipe on the sides and bottom. With the amount of cover over the pipe, there are little or no signs of failure in the road surface at this time. However, there are holes in the roadway that can form quickly. So here we're taking his word for it, the road's gonna fall apart on Dexter Wood Road. Give us a big fat estimate on what it'll cost
Who gave it, on what?
on this culvert there on there.
On Dexter?
It's high. Got one down there below Dick Wyatt's this year. Remember, you had that replaced? I had two of those contractors look at it before that. I said, this is gonna be up for bid. I didn't tell them no different. They bid it. One guy, after we got the bid from the county, or got the bill from the county, was $800 lower, and the other guy was $1,200 lower on one culvert,
Yeah.
on a gravel
But they
road.
did not have, if they, once they would've added their DNR permits on, it would've been well over that. County can do their own DNR permits, and that would've required a DNR permit for that.
Where is that?
Down on,
We ain't talking about Island Road, we're talking about down there on the end of
no,
Huffman Road.
Hoffman Road, yeah.
Yeah,
And that culvert was separated, and we went with that, so. I didn't see no estimates, you didn't bring me no estimates.
oh, you had already let it to the county on your 35,000 you give them.
So on the roads update, am I hearing you both state that Island Drive culvert will not be replaced?
Right.
We are, okay, so I have
Absolutely
that.
not.
Okay. I got that.
But I am leaning towards this, and I do have, where we can get the funding, we can get this culvert down to half the price in a year. So we will, you know,
About 24.
So are you're using the 50/50?
yes,
The 50/50
culvert money.
money that
Yeah.
we have in there?
Yeah.
Are they just gonna sink another piece of galvanized in that?
We could, yeah. Yes, that's what we're
Why
gonna
don't they just go with poly and be done with it?
do. What's that?
Why don't they just do poly and then never have to deal with it?
Because we can't afford it.
I think there might be an ordinance from like 2009 or something that says when we replace culverts, they have to be poly now. You might wanna
No.
look that up.
No. It's,
Our ordinance?
Yeah. I think that's what Ron suggested when I was on the board last time. You don't wanna put in the wrong thing and then have to change it.
It's a double.
This one right here, Jeff, what we had to do it. That lining company knows what the state has them do it and
I
everything,
agree.
you know,
Yeah.
$5,000, you know, why would you pay 26,000? You know, so I mean, that never was an option. After we looked at this, Tom Nelson said, forget it. He said, cause he couldn't, you know, drum up enough interest in people to pay their half, you know, to pay for the tube. That was the deal, you know, they was gonna pay for the tube if we put a bigger one in, but not enough of what, cause a lot of them, there's like 42 lots in that subdivision, but some of them own like 3. You know, so if you went to a really bigger one, they would've cleaned the ends out and stuff. And I don't know anymore, that was all man-made, that was, I didn't, no natural waterway or anything anyway.
Dennis, could I say something about the subdivision over here? We looked it up and there's a actual covenant. Remember, we asked him if there was one. There is one with the town for that subdivision, but it expires in 2029. So I don't know if you're gonna have to
Do we know
redo
where
that.
is?
Pardon me?
Do you know where that, you have a copy?
Yeah, he has a copy.
Cause the county doesn't have a copy of that, I mean, There's.
We
I
found it
called-
online.
I called the county and I called title companies and nobody had.
Where did we
anything.
find that?
I called the planning and
Yeah.
zoning, and she looked it up and she got me some numbers, and then
I
I,
talked to planning and zoning, and I also talked to
And then-
Gowie Title, and they said there's nothing listed for this.
Yeah, it expires in 2029, and there's nothing on there that talks about road repairs or anything. But since the town does get road aid, then of course we have to fix culverts and roads, but, you know, that's something that's gonna have to be done in before 2029 when it expires. It's not much of a covenant. There's 41 lots in there.
and they didn't have that part, so that was all she had.
Plus, if you look on the map there, the Wood County map, it's all shoreland zoning. So if they wanted to do something with that culvert where they could get into the lake over here, they're gonna have to go through the DNR on that. That's not the town's business to do that.
County said no,
Replacing,
If they did it, they wouldn't have to see the DNR.
pardon me?
The guys from the county said if they did the work, they wouldn't have to go see the DNR.
Because they have their, yeah, they have their thing with the DNR. But we would be responsible for replacing the culvert, not all that extra work that they want done.
DNR, county told me, Roland told me the other night that he said he wouldn't be able to touch, he couldn't get authority to touch anything going out to that thing, cause it's wetland in there and they won't allow him. He said, I can't even clean that ditch out, it's the only thing I can do is replace what's there. He said, it's not it, once you start touching that, he said, there's a road, there's all kinds of tape, he said, we're not messing with it, it'll cost you a fortune. Our best bet is like he said, just, if we have to some point line it, we'll line it.
Yeah. That'd be
But I ran my camera
far
down,
cheapest.
I ran my camera down the sides of that thing, and the only thing I couldn't see was the bottom, and that the sides were way more intact than the ones that we have on Dexter, where we are completely A through. I mean, we don't have to make no decision on it tonight, but on Dexter or anything, I'm not expecting us to do, but we wanted to get a price, I wanted to get us in that 50-50 money for culvert. And, cause, this one's gonna be an issue to us, you know, if the state's saying 1 year, so, we're looking at damn near $50,000 for it. So, it might be one that we're gonna have to try to fix this year, cause like I said, there's a lot of weight going down that road, a lot of people driving on that road. And it's like, we gotta start fixing some of them some way. I'm just trying to figure out how the money's gonna go and where we're gonna go with it. If I can get this one form signed for a 50-50, I'd like to, so we can get that in for that culvert stuff. That we sent, we wanna fix. And we can start a 50-50 culvert money at least.
How much work you get done for your 50% from the county? When a private guy can do it so much cheaper, are we gaining or losing?
Who's private guy? I got it, it's,
Then you gotta put it,
I can't see where the.
then you gotta put it on bid.
Then we gotta put it all on bid, they have to get their own DNR to do it, it's gonna cost $5,000 minimum, there's no way they're gonna beat it.
What's the estimate from,
And this here, if we
Are
get
we
the,
talking Dexter Wood Road now?
yeah,
Okay,
that's what I'm saying, we get 50-50 money, the culvert costs, if it costs $49,000, we get half the money back the following year. Every township's doing this, you go to the meetings, if you went to the meetings, you'd see this is a very good deal, these contractors can't compete with these guys on this. If you wanna get prices on it, bring them.
I will.
If you
got
can
till
get
next
somebody
month.
to do it for 25,000, I can, I'll take it. They got, they can beat 25,000.
The 50/50 is only with the county doing the work?
Yep. That's a great deal on
Well, it
roads and
sounds like a
everything.
racket.
Huh?
It's a racket.
No, it ain't.
Well, sure it is.
All towns are doing, all towns
towns
do
are-
I'm
it.
not saying that they're not, but the county being able to do something for half the money of a private guy when they're fucking taxpayer funded is a racket. It's crap. Sure it is.
Yeah, it is.
How is it not?
How much money do we pay into Wood County now? All their trucks, no licenses, no insurance, all their equipment, no
That's all
overhead,
taxpayer
no
funded.
nothing on it, and they cannot beat a private contractor? Give me a break.
Bring your estimates. Put your money where your mouth is. Bring your estimates. Let's see if you can beat it. Come on.
If they're on bid.
It could be,
Let's see it.
two
Just
of
bring
them
it.
could beat you on that little culvert there by Dick Wyatt.
No.
Yes,
Yeah.
they could
Oh,
have.
shit. If you'd have brought the stuff, we could have seen it.
You already had it left to them. You paid
Bring
$35,000
it,
for
bring
it already.
Bring your estimates, Dennis. I'm
I
calling you
will.
out on it. Bring it. You know, see what their DNR stuff costs.
So would you like me to put on the agenda that we will discuss
Discuss
this
it next
at the
month.
February meeting?
Yep.
And no conflict of interest contractors doing this neither. It's gotta be outside contractors.
It would be.
You mean outside contract?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
What I mean?
Yeah.
No earth corporations. That's a conflict
That's
of
a
interest.
conflict of
They didn't even
interest.
bid on it
Good.
before, local contract.
Not even 2P.
Why can't he do it?
Conflict of interest.
Why?
So any local contractor is
So
out.
hires can't do it either then?
They wanna put a bid on it? I don't care
Sean,
what
you can
hires.
put a bid on it too. It's not a conflict of interest. He's running a business just like anyone else. No, he won't. He's done with this town, but
Well, right.
no, he won't. But he deserves to put a bid in.
I can't find an ordinance.
Okay, now back to just plowing roads.
Whatever.
Now, Jeff,
Yeah.
getting call after call after call, the road ain't plowed, the road ain't salted, the road ain't that.
Did you?
Well, they said, we have to wait till we get permission from you to do it.
So here's my question on this. So I've gotten, and I've been doing it wrong. Okay, I take responsibility. I didn't know. I get text messages and phone calls and, hey, our road needs to be sanded and our road needs to be salted. And I'm like, call the county. They do the stuff. I don't know. Call the county. So they call the county. And then I find out that the county tells me, well, we can't do anything without talking to Jeff first. So my question is, when I get calls, do I call you? Do I call you? Because I obviously am not supposed to have them call the county. So I need to know who people are supposed to call when they're unhappy with the roads and what needs to be done. Because the county said, well, we're happy to do it. We just want to make sure that we have permission to do what's being asked first. So does it matter if I go with you, if I go to you, if I
You can
go
call
to
me.
you?
I
mean,
They
take
call
calls all
every
the time
day.
on it.
They're calling them every day. They've been calling them every single day.
But my question would be then, why are you the only one? Obviously, they were told that,
yeah.
by whom?
Well, they told me that it was Pat, but then when Pat left her position, they were told to call you. So I'm like, okay, I just need to know, is that what I'm supposed to be doing
I write down every time they go out, what time, when we hire stuff, so when I can look at the bill, I can make sure that we're kind of keep track of the salt and where we're putting it and what's going on the road. And then I talk to the other townships, like, what are they doing? Are they knocking, are they plowing, this and that, so.
But it shouldn't matter who calls them. Any one of the three of us.
Any
should
one of
get
the
something
three
done.
can call you.
Thank you, I will not have people call the county anymore.
So then can we have them put down more, cause I get called all the time too. So can we have them start sanding and salting? Cause really, unless you are out there watching them plow, you're not gonna be able to judge what their bill is.
You know,
Because they have different charges for every different thing. So like, the blades are different charges, like they're under bare plate, I don't know what the words are technical, but the wing is charged separate, like everything's charged separately when they go out. But,
And
and
it's
I
been,
understand how you wanna watch it,
it's
but,
been really hard this year, because
Yeah.
it snows this
Yeah.
much every day,
Yeah.
and then it rains, and then.
We
it
all
snows,
agreed the
and-
last meeting, 3 inches where we plowed at, you know, and I've been, you know, keeping track of that. And I went out, I've got pictures, I watched what Sean DeP does out there, them roads weren't plowed, and I didn't plow it because I called it, I didn't, you know, I said it was only an inch, so we didn't plow. And then we had all that rain and ice, so we let the snow kinda get on the road, so we had some traction. Cause it was so cold, if we threw salt on it, it wasn't gonna melt it anyways, it would just freaking make it worse. So they said, leave it right now, that's what the other towns are doing, what town Wood's doing, this and that. So I'm like, okay, we'll leave it for right now. I have the intersections plowed and salted, when they, you know, a lot of times, and, it's like, I'm just trying to keep the budget down, I got a lot of money to roads to fix and culverts to put in, you know, we could plow it every frickin' inch of snow and salt it, but hey, people, we don't live in the city, we live in the country, you know, I'm trying to keep it safe for everybody, you know.
But if you get an inch today, an inch tomorrow, an inch the next day, and an inch the next day, are they gonna come and plow? Or they're not gonna plow because we didn't get 3 inches at one time?
If we ask them to, they will. I think.
We usually do if we get that, if that happens. And I had the lady call me on Lonesome, she said, hey, my roads, you know, we had all that rain and salt, or stuff, and it froze. So I had the county go down there on Monday, and I said, salt it and do that, cause she said her mailman got stuck at the end, it was pissed in the morning, and she said, well, I cleaned it up. Then after I cleaned it up, somebody else called me and said, hey, that road's all frickin' sloppy as shit now, and it's like, well, what? They liked it before,
Can't please
so I
everybody.
can't please everybody yet, so.
so how much do we pay the county to plow? Is there a contract?
Yeah.
Yeah. How come we don't hire somebody to do it?
Can't get anybody else to do it.
Can't
Because
get
the
anybody.
guy that could do it before will not do it anymore.
But I mean, if we bought a plow truck for the township, I'm sure that's not a pretty penny for Wood County.
we can't.
You can't,
How much is Wood County a year?
How much was it last year? Did we pay out?
35,000?
I don't remember
I
I
any
think
of
it
that.
was
I don't remember.
80, huh?
8,000-ish.
$8,000 to plow the snow. That was last
Last year.
But is there, they don't have a set contract of what we pay?
Hmm?
There isn't a set contract of what we pay?
No.
Nobody will give you a set contract today on plowing,
Or what amount?
because they don't know, they'll tell you that we'll plow it this many times for this amount of money, if you run over that, it's gonna be this X amount of more dollars.
That makes more sense.
So, it's like, you get something, you know. So we went back to the county, cause the salt situation that we had, the people to before.
That's the service agreement with the county is there, I think.
And if people call, I'll get it cleaned, you know, if they have an issue.
It just says the town of Dexter agrees to contract $35,000 worth of work to Wood County each year of the contract. So the plowing is part of that $35,000.
And brush mowing,
Oh,
on
okay.
trees, tree trimming.
I thought we were spending 35,000 just on plowing, I'm like, we can certainly pay somebody, yeah, to buy a truck.
Yeah.
That kind
If
of
it-
money.
Fixing,
yeah, agreed.
That would be
fixing
great.
culverts, chip sealing, we used all that money.
Chip sealing, crack filling, whatever they do, whatever we need done, we could take it off of that 35,000.
Okay, makes sense, thank you.
Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah.
The only thing I found on ordinances for driveway and highway access permit, maybe this is, it does say that culverts, each driveway shall have a plastic culvert with a nominal size of 15 inches in diameter and a ramp at each end of the culvert. That's the only thing I can find about
It is
culverts
only
in
for
any-
driveways,
So,
not for cross.
Well, you'd have to look and see what the lay of the land is too, the guy on top of the hill can't have a 2-footer, where the water's gonna come down, the guy at the bottom's gonna have a 15-incher, I mean, you have to take that into consideration. can't be smaller than the one on top. Are we done with roads?
No. One other thing, if you wanna hear from that was at the meeting the other night on, it's coming down on, when you give a permit to somebody on the road and stuff, one of the things that the DOT is coming up with is where anywhere, I know you don't like this, but anywhere there's a pit, quarry, we're gonna have to start, when they bring in any crushing equipment and stuff, cause that stuff, some of that stuff there, blacktop equipment, mixing plants, and it's every township, they said, it's gonna have to start keeping a record of heavy load permits. We have to give them a permit to come down the road, and that way there we have a record of it, because the DOT, with all this culvert and bridge stuff that, you know, has happened, they wanna start keeping a record of how many heavy loads are over our, that are overweight loads that are going over our bridges and culverts. So, they said townships need to start issuing a permit, overload, you know, heavy
But we
load.
don't need to start doing that, don't we?
Until, well,
And I'm sure anybody that hauls that kind of equipment and everything is gonna be well aware that that's coming.
no, they're aware, they will get a permit to run their state highways and state roads. A lot of times, this is where this is coming in, the guys that, they're not getting it for these little townships where they turn off and go down the roads.
Well, if it's the law, it's the law.
So,
So you're saying it's
So
gonna be
we agree
mandatory
with-
for them to get it?
huh?
It's going to be mandatory for them to get it?
To get it, they're supposed to get, yeah,
They're supposed
townships.
to, or is it mandatory?
Huh?
Here's
Are
what-
they supposed to or
Here's the
mandatory?
actual wording from the
Yeah.
minutes, okay, from the state patrol officer, addressed the members. He stated that permits can be issued so the vehicles can exceed, okay, he explained weight restrictions for large trucks and vehicles. He stated that permits can be issued so those vehicles can exceed weight limits on town and county roads. Heavy vehicles can operate on state highways but must abide by weight limits on town and county highways. He stated that whomever owns the road can set a weight limit and issue permits to exceed the limits. Towns, county must have an ordinance in place with signage posted before the state patrol or county law enforcement can enforce any of those restrictions. The state patrol will try to have a presence along with Wood County deputies to make sure that weight limits are being abided by. Overweight citations carry a high cost and will be issued. Some officers carry portable scales for weighing trucks, vehicles, otherwise there are local businesses in Wood County that have scales available so they can be weighed. If members have any questions, he gave his email address. He also gave updates on implements of husbandry. Towns were encouraged to know if they have an opt-in or opt-out agreement regarding IOH. He also gave the DOT website to check the IOH information for each town, and then he left a handbook for members to consider. And then there is the maximum limit summary. I have this printed out. This is in the correspondence for tonight, and I did email all of the board members this information as well. So if anybody wants to see that, that's up here for anyone who would like to peruse that as well.
Did you happen to look up online to see if the town is opted in or out of that, animal husbandry thing? I know we're on there, I just can't remember which one we are, if we opted in or out.
Don't wait for me, you guys just go ahead and know.
No, go ahead.
What I can't understand is how the town of Dexter, ever since the thirties, got all along going time
Times-
after time after time, and this year lately, everything is an uphill battle. Permit this and permit that.
Yep, it's not, it's the law, Dennis, that's why I
The
say it's
law,
a.
how come the other
it's a-
townships don't know where you're
They,
going?
they have to do, they're
They
telling.
don't have to do shit.
Yeah, you do.
When your town has town protections on the books, Dennis, you should be using them. Our town can't afford to replace roads just because. You know, we're not in that,
There's
you know.
getting road aid on the road.
Yeah, and we're barely making it, Dennis. Look at
I
the
know we're
budget.
barely making it.
Okay, then if, you know, I don't see what the problem is, why you don't wanna protect the road.
Why would you tax the third of the township more for other things that we don't have any control over?
That has nothing to do with the permits, the permits are free.
Yeah. You can
It
put
just,
free on, you can
it's
put
just
in
so
free, you can
the
discuss
people,
that between-
it's just so the people getting the permits know that they cannot hold the town liable if they're stupid enough to drive on those roads when they shouldn't be.
How many cases have you ever seen where the town got held
Oh,
liable?
for crying out loud, you wanna wait until what happens? Do you do that in your own business, Dennis? Let's just wait till there's a problem? I don't think you do.
Moving on.
Yeah, why don't we?
I can't get into that site, so I don't know. Correspondence, just to go over what we had got, nationwide year-end, dollar amounts for the town. The Wood County unit minutes, which I mentioned, that ATC electric power grid lines, the map of what's happening with that. We did have an intake for the Southwood County Humane Society. They called and apologized that they did not contact us first before they took this. Someone found a dog and took it into the Humane Society and they took it. Wisconsin Energy Co-op News, and then 2 landowners who are having timber cut. So I'll pass this down so you can look at these. Okay, bills. We have our 941 for Q4. Oakdale Electric, $80. We had an overpayment of property taxes to someone for $446.78 we had to refund. Our withholding from payroll for $416.09, waste management for the 291036. Mike Hiles for, cleaning the hall, plowing snow. Our payment to the county for dogs, $319. Our January settlement tax roll of $77,693 to the county, $145,386.40 to the school district and Mid-State Tech College for $10,900.63. The town web 432 that we already talked about. Pittsville record, $155 for the October 30th budget and hearing requirements. Wood County Highway Department for snow and ice control for $1,167.90. $300 for the Southwood County Humane Society for our annual contract, which went down from last year. And then $75 to Ortner Tax and Accounting to do W-2s and 1099s. Since QuickBooks was not complete this year, there had to be a lot of manual work, and it was screwed up last year, and I didn't want it to be screwed up this year, so.
there a motion to pay those?
I'll second.
Public comments.
I just wanna say, if you want something added to the agenda, you have 24 hours to do it. I did not expect Diana to have to go out in the cold snow on Monday. I just wanted, in case this topic came up with the culvert, I didn't wanna be acute. I didn't want somebody to stop Jeff talking about it at the meeting, because it just says road updates, it doesn't say culvert specifically, Dexter Wood Road. So I didn't know if it had to be that detailed, or, you know, because when Pat was on as chairman, that person over there would always, say it wasn't on the agenda, so then we couldn't talk about it. So that's why I was getting,
Well,
that's why I
if
said
you
it.
was talking about the one in Island Drive down there, that was all taken care of long before the meeting. Tom
I
and-
wasn't talking about Island Drive. Jeff wanted to add Dexter Wood Road because he wanted to specifically talk about that estimate that you got from Wood County and those, road inspection reports that that he did not get at the last meeting. He didn't even see the copies. We had to request them from Wood County because you never share any of this information with him. You're always keeping him out of the dark, and it's wrong. He is part of this team, and you act like you have to have all the information, but yet he's the one that gets the phone calls from Wood County and does the stuff for these citizens around here. I don't see you guys going out there every
Wood County
day.
was told to call Jeff by Pat previously.
Yeah, and that's
why
fine.
Jeff gets called all the time.
And that's fine, but you guys can't even attend a board meeting, a board of review meeting, either one of you. And you're both on the board, and you get paid just as much as Jeff does, Carrie, and you do fucking jack shit.
Call me a snowflake again.
I ain't
See how-
calling you
see how far it
anything.
gets you. He did.
I ain't calling
He
you
didn't.
names, I'm just
Recorded.
saying that you get paid the same amount he does.
Laura, how come your
So you're
name's
not
on
gonna-
everything?
you're gonna
Requested by
segregate
Laura
every
Oakley
single
on
thing
all the
out there?
Don't
emails
side
and
with
all
every
that
single
stuff
thing.
that people send me.
On my own.
I
person.
don't get anything unless I request it. I had a
Yes, I
request
said,
for the
why are you
TDS stuff.
requesting it?
I had a request for the
Requested it
TDS
for me, just
information.
like your daughter puts out the emails and stuff for you.
Yeah,
I had a request for that TDS stuff for Jeff, because he wanted to know who the contractors were. He wanted to know more information about it. And it wasn't until after the meeting, we're sick and tired of coming to these meetings, and you're always freaking
One up on me.
one up on him, and then you expect him to just pass these things just immediately in one night. So why don't you give him some information so he can read the stuff over before the meetings?
I talked to the guy that issued those, or that, inspected all of those. And he said, this is what I'm gonna do, but he says, we just watch them, he said, there's no
Yeah,
issue.
and I got every report that what they say, what needs to be done. And you should have gave that to him, because he's been working on this for 2 freaking years. I went out there too and helped him with this. So, and we couldn't even apply for the road aid stuff because you didn't give us the Whistler report either, and that was supposed to be done, or that was supposedly done in September 11th. And I didn't get it until October when I requested for it. So I'm sick and tired of the secrets behind this freaking board up there, or your freaking board
There's
thing.
no secrets.
Yeah, there is. Then how come I have to request everything? You guys do not share anything unless we ask for it. And then you come to these meetings
take
and
all
you
of the-
bombard it
all of the
at
pressure
Jeff
off
every
of them.
time.
From now on then, all the roads and stuff are up to Carrie and me, and Jeff can
No,
relate back to
you
us.
are not gonna do that.
This will eliminate all this fighting. I second that.
That ain't
You
gonna
don't even go
happen.
to damn meetings.
She's
You
here.
hear
You're not
one-
even on
you
that
hear
I
one
come
word
for all
at a
you
time.
do is complain about the roads. That's all you do.
That's
And who's
90%
driving
of this
on and
town.
what I'm doing and that and that.
That's 90% of the town is the roads.
That's all you fight about.
Yes.
It's stupid.
Problem is there's no communication between the
Yeah.
three of you.
I have a question.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
We did not address Randy taking over for Nicole on the.
Yeah, I forgot to put that
Yeah.
on the agenda.
Okay, good, next one.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Randall, sorry.
No, that's all right.
Sorry,
What is this?
I'm on vacation brain, sorry.
That was the weights on the roads and stuff.
To read over, I have just to read over.
Can you have it?
Yeah, to read
Yeah.
over, I'll give it back at the next meeting.
Can we set the date for the February meeting?
On calendar.
February 18th.
February 18th?
18th is a Wednesday, the third Wednesday of the month.
Is that when the trial is?
6 o'clock?
Yes, please.
You need a motion to adjourn.
Motion